Last week in Jersey City at the 15th ICIS Neely Burns World Surfactant Conference, over 200 members of the surfactant supply chain gathered from the smallest ingredient startups all the way through to the largest consumer product companies in the world and the largest chemical companies in the world. They gathered to talk surfactants for a couple of days. And here are just 5 of my highlights from that event. Number 1, the value of a balanced portfolio, a all the above strategy, if you like. Petrochemicals are big, continue to be big, although we don't hear them talked about a lot. LAB, linear alkyl benzene, is still an enormously important platform chemical, especially in HI&I cleaning. Palm is an enormously important starting point for many surfactants, particularly alcohol ethoxylates. And we heard a lot about the low and ultra-low product carbon footprint options from P&G Chemicals division. Novel surfactant forms. We heard about surfactant particles from DOT Ingredients. Biomass balance, very, very important and increasingly important in our surfactant and consumer product supply chain. We heard about that from Shell Chemical. We also heard from Shell about carbon capture and storage and its role in a low PCF supply chain option. Of course, we heard about fermentation, not just in terms of biosurfactants, but in terms of the novel application of fermentation technology to potential commercial supply of detergent range alcohols from companies like Future Origins and ICIS Bio. Future Origins having recently announced an offtake agreement with Kao, the Japanese consumer products company. Number 2, the shape of surfactant supply globally is changing, not least through the activities of Unilever. Unilever Oleochemical Indonesia has recently installed 150,000 tons fatty alcohol production unit, complemented by downstream surfactant manufacturing. That's a significant first step back into vertical integration for Unilever in the surfactant supply chain. Also announced during our conference was the Unilever collaboration with Galaxy Surfactants in Nuevo Leon, Mexico, and that's around a major investment producing personal care and health and well-being products, finished consumer products for Unilever, and integration into the production of sulfates and sulfonates raw materials for Unilever by Galaxy Surfactants. And so another major sort of vertical integration move there by Unilever in the surfactant supply chain. Things are changing globally, and it's worth keeping an eye on. Number 3, sustainability continues to be a mega trend, but the big companies, the major volume suppliers of surfactants and feedstocks are not going to invest without the supporting consumer demand and consumer willingness to pay so that those investments will earn a return. Common sense, but stated very eloquently by BASF, among others, at the conference. Number 4, frustration and uncertainty, as you might imagine, but not just around the tariff and trade situation, which has already changed pretty radically since last week, but also a longer-term frustration around the incredible backlog of getting products certified and approved through TSCA in the United States. New product approval through TSCA is incredibly frustrating, incredibly slow. One of our speakers said he couldn't quite believe he was saying this, but the REACH process in Europe is fast, smooth, and predictable. And that, frankly, in my opinion, is still a major embarrassment and major American own goal, and hopefully something that can be fixed quickly. Number 5, notwithstanding Tosca frustrations, innovation is still very much happening in our industry. Let me read you a few examples that we talked about last week. The aforementioned fermentation efforts, of course, directed towards detergent range alcohols, also towards brand new personal care grade biosurfactants from BioRenewer. We've got innovation in furan-based surfactants from Ceronics, innovation in methyl ester ethoxylates for agricultural adjuvants from Clariant, also from Clariant, novel sugar and oleochemical-based surfactants for use in mining and ore flotations. Honestly, an underappreciated area in the economy and particularly in the surfactant economy. And also, of course, as we previewed, a very fresh look at cationics, including some interesting oil field application from those also overlooked products. So a lot happening in terms of new products and new process technology, which we got into in a lot of detail over the couple of days at the conference. It was a great time. It was a great gathering. We're doing it again next May in Jersey City. We're also doing it again, a Asia-focused event in Kuala Lumpur in November. I encourage you to register early for that and take advantage of the early bird registration. That's it. Again, thank you for listening. I hope you found this useful.